Hey guys, we'll get to the show in 1 minute. Before we do that, I'll tell you the podcast is brought to you every day by the Oxford Exxon. Head on over on this Monday. You can get the lunch special. It's $4.99. It's chicken spaghetti, 2 sides bread, 32-ounce drink, maybe some ribs tonight. The mobile rewards app, the Speed Pass Plus app. So many ways to save time and money with the Oxford Exxon. Also want to tell you, we're coming to you from the Clark Ford studio. That's in Amory, Mississippi, Highway 25 South. 662-257-1900 is the phone number to give them a call, because you can get a quote in business hours within 15 minutes when you ask for Corey Clark. And when you're making the deal, you're there at the end. Tell him you heard about it on the podcast. He'll knock $500 off the price of that new Clark Ford. So appreciate the Oxford Exxon and Clark Ford every single day. And now here is the Oxford Exxon podcast.
From the Clark Ford studio in Oxford, Mississippi, MBW Digital proudly presents the Oxford Exxon podcast.
I'd say thanks for tuning in, but why am I going to give you a round of applause for something that you're supposed to do, to be frank?
And now, here are your hosts, Chase Parham.
And broadcast school has really paid off.
And Neal McCready.
I deserve to be on TV.
Welcome to this Monday morning edition of the Oxford Exxon podcast. Chase Parham, Neal McCready, Clark Ford studio this morning. Hope all of you out traveling made it where you're going safely. Some of the most dense fog I've seen in a long time around Oxford. Probably no more than 50 yards of visibility, something like that this morning. It was really, really, really bad. So we're playing weatherman. Neil's already laughing at something on his phone. I don't know what he's laughing about. So we'll do a show.
I'm laughing about something that you and I talked about earlier today. As I read more.
Oh, you're just now seeing the
as I read more, and if I could fill in the blanks for some people, they would. There's common sense, and then there's a complete not understanding that some don't have that common sense, and the disconnect. If the disconnect is funny because the people who have common sense have no idea that they're talking to people who have no common sense.
So you agree with my hypothesis earlier?
Oh, I told you completely what I thought.
Okay.
The rest of this is just amusing.
Okay, fair enough. All right, we're going to talk probably some offensive coordinator today. We're going to talk probably some National Signing Day stuff, but that's not really what we do on this show. There will be a soft verbal recording today, I believe, as well. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes, my plan for the day is that I'm leaving here. Carson has the thing at his school that I'm going to, and then I'm coming back here, and I'm going to call Russell, and we're going to tape a soft verbal. I'll get the recorder to you at some point in the day, and you'll load it when you get around to it.
Okay. That works for me. All right. So we're going to talk about that. Timeline maybe has shifted a little bit. There's really been the only news. Not a lot of news over the weekend, and we're getting sort of that part of the year where, other than coaching search stuff, not much going on. Ole Miss knocks off Chattanooga 90-70 last night in Oxford, moving to 8-2, 7-2, something like that on the season.
Ole Miss is now 8-2. They have 2 non-league games left before they start.
FGCU in Middle.
They play Middle on Friday in Nashville, and then they play Florida Gulf Coast on the 29th, I think.
Okay.
At the Pavilion. And then they play at Vanderbilt. I don't have a schedule in front of me. I want to say it's January 5th.
That is correct. Yeah, January 5th is the league opener at Vanderbilt. Then Auburn at home.
And then at Mississippi State. So
Vanderbilt game's huge.
Yeah. Look, I get this. I know we are going to do. You want to pause this and do the ads, and then we'll come back and we'll talk basketball right off the top?
Well, I was putting in the pre-roll, so we could have gone.
Never mind.
Anyway.
Never
Go
mind.
ahead.
Okay, so here's the thing. I get this question. I got it a few times last night at the Pavilion.
Okay.
Do you think we're a tournament team? We, of course, being Ole Miss.
And we've discussed this a good bit over the last
And I have,
so.
and my answer is I can tell it's off-putting to some. And I don't mean for it to be. Here's the answer. Assuming wins over Middle and Florida Gulf Coast, this team is 10-2 going into league play. That is very good. They have no bad losses. They lost to Butler, and they lost to Cincinnati. Neither of those losses are going to hurt them. One on the road, one on a neutral floor. They have a decent win against Baylor. They've got a nice win against San Diego.
Got a win against Baylor. They got a little better over the weekend as Baylor went on the road and knocked off Arizona 58-49 in Tucson on Saturday.
Right. So they're in good shape. And in fact, I want to say it was Lunardi did
It was next four, or first four out, or
first
whatever.
Four out. So it's a ridiculously early projection that probably his boss has said, "Hey, do one. We need the clicks."
Well, when it's your literally only job, you tend to start doing them pretty early.
Start doing them and they get clicks.
Yeah, it's good fodder.
Yeah. He probably looks at it and rolls his eyes and goes, "Oh, God." Anyway, so Ole Miss is in really good shape going into league play. And the league is good. It's not quite as good as everyone thought it would be, but it's good. It's going to be a 7-bid league. Can Ole Miss get one of those 7 bids? Well, to do it, they're going to have to win probably 11 SEC games.
I think 11 is the spot where you go, we're in no matter what, we're in. I think 10 and 8 gets a little tricky, but there's a chance.
There's a non-league game in January, late January. I don't remember the date.
Iowa State.
And that factors in. In fact, in my mind, it's basically a league game.
Yeah, you have for these purposes, you have 19 Power 5 games that we're
and I think they have to go 11 and 8 to be in the conversation.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I'll go there.
And then you'd have the conference tournament and all that stuff, and that's a long way. So when people go, is this a tournament team? Well, I watch this team, and I still see low post issues.
Mm-hmm. Those are fair, because Ole Miss was losing to Chattanooga at halftime last night. Then they went on a ridiculous 28-0 run that I'm not sure I've seen before. But before that, they are down at the half.
Yeah, and they were down 6 in the second half before they went nuts and just blew them out with just a series of shots. Boom, 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 and it was over. And they played inspired defense in those moments, and all 3 guards played well at the same time. They have 2 issues. Low post is kind of funky, and Terrence Davis is too erratic right now. He's too inconsistent right now. Ole Miss needs Terrence Davis to show up and be Terrence Davis every night, the whole damn game.
It's an interesting thing because I've watched this team more than I typically watch basketball, and you kind of know what you're going to get out of every player but their best player.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I can pretty much name their line. This is what they're going to do. This is how they're going to play. You're going to get this, which is positively and negatively, and then you got TD that, who knows, could be electric and could be kind of an eyesore at times.
And I could be wrong, so let me preface this by saying I could be wrong. Kermit Davis probably not listening to this, but if he did, he might say, "No, you're wrong." He would probably on this say, "I see why you think that." I thought last night the 2 freshmen who have played a lot, Henson and Buffin, I thought they looked tired. Now, these are human beings, and they might be a little homesick right now. They might be tired right now. When you play high school ball, you don't practice this much. And I suspect Kermit Davis used much of last week, which was after finals, to install some things, to iron out some things, to work on some things, to push a little. And these guys might just be beat a little. They're going to play on Friday, and then they're going to get a break, a fairly significant break. Chance to kind of go home, see mama and them, rest a little, get away from basketball, no coaches yelling at you for a few days, and they'll probably come back fine. But I thought I saw some freshman wall a little bit, and that's fine. That's to be expected. If Henson and Buffin are going to hit the wall at some point, and they will, Davis has to carry them over that wall. And the big men, Stevens, Olenichik, they have to give them something. Last night they gave them something. They were okay. Not great. They were okay. And okay might be enough for this to be a tournament team.
Yeah, they're a perimeter-oriented team, so we're just talking about doing something.
They have 3 really good guards. They have 3 really good guards.
Shot over 60% again last night, which even against the air, that's pretty good, so you'll take it.
No, they have 3 really good guards. They can really shoot. Brian Tyree's having a really, really good season. Devontae Shuler is doing exactly what they're asking of him and showing some signs of getting better. And TD was good last night. I mean, all in all, his final numbers were really good. He makes some kind of I love the kid. He's a great kid. So when I say this, don't think I'm being mean. He's one of my favorite kids I've ever covered. But TD does some bonehead stuff out there sometimes. Where you're like, hey, what are you thinking? And the answer is, I'm not. I'm just playing. And they need him to think. They need him to concentrate. They need him to focus, to lock in. So really long answer to your question, to people's question, can this be a tournament team? Sure. Is it likely? I don't think so. Are they going to be fun? I think so. Are they going to play meaningful games in February and March? I think so. Which is a big step up.
That we're even having this conversation is a godsend for what Kermit Davis has been able to do in year one. That we're even having this conversation.
Yeah.
It's a team picked dead last in the SEC. They are not going to finish dead last.
No, they might finish middle of the pack. Their 1-3-1 is coming along. It's a really Kermit has a 1-3-1 that gives coaches fits. And it's coming along. It still has lapses in it. They do some stuff defensively right now that you can tell he wants to punch walls, and he knows this is going to take time.
He's got that really good move where they'll have a defensive lapse, and he's immediately turning around to yell at anyone on the bench to go replace someone immediately.
Yeah, I mean, Levi Watkins and those guys, they're just getting yelled at right now. It's okay. It's not personal, and they know it. He's turned a few times where I thought, God, I hope he doesn't kick that board, and then he stops. He knows what he's doing. They're getting better, but they're getting ready to really step up. So to your point, that Vanderbilt game, you hate to call a game on the road at Vanderbilt a must-win game. But it's close because they come home and they play Auburn, who's really good, Chase. And then they go to Mississippi State, and Mississippi State beat Cincinnati handily the other day.
At home, but yes.
Yes.
Win for State.
Yeah. If the tournament were seeded today, State's in it easy.
Yeah, 3-4 seed.
Yeah. Auburn's in the tournament easy. So we'll find out. It's going to be a rough road. The league's good. Tennessee's an elite team. Kentucky is a very talented team. Florida's good. Alabama's good. Arkansas is a little better than what people thought Arkansas was going to be. It's a really good league.
Just kind of playing a little bit of I hate the transitive property game, but just to give you some idea of what's going on here a little bit. Baylor beats Arizona. Kind of give you what Arizona is right now because there's no DeAndre Ayton or anybody like that out there. But always obviously been a pretty good program. They have wins over a UConn team that's not UConn anymore. And they've got a win over Iowa State. Arizona beat Iowa State 71-66 in Hawaii early in the year. And then Arizona's lost 4 games, but those are to Gonzaga in Hawaii, Auburn in Hawaii, Baylor, and then they lost a game in Tuscaloosa 76-73 to Alabama. So
right.
That is Arizona's schedule to this point, and they lose that game to Baylor. So a couple common opponents there a little bit, and then Vanderbilt tonight, if you'd like to watch it, they play Arizona State at 6 o'clock. The Sun Devils beat Georgia in a very close game on Saturday, I believe, if that is correct, Saturday night. They are ranked 20th in the country right now, so Vanderbilt has a pretty good schedule coming up. They play Arizona State, and then they play Kansas State their next 2 games before a couple bye games prior to Ole Miss visiting. Vanderbilt so far this season has a 15-point loss to NC State, and then they have a win over USC very early in the year. But again, they've lost a big-time part of their team, so they are much more gettable than they would have been with a completely healthy roster. So that's kind of where Vanderbilt is right now.
Yep.
All good?
All good.
All good? All right.
Yeah, having
some problems?
No, not a problem. Just
some issues?
Just a small issue, not a big issue.
Okay. Your 10 thoughts are up, a lot of basketball in that, and then a lot of just kind of off-season talk in general as the offensive coordinator search makes its move into its second week almost here. I guess it happened last Tuesday. Yeah, it's all kind of running together. I put this on the board at the time. It was actually my error because I frankly wasn't thinking because I don't mean this offensive. I just kind of, in my head, even no matter how Longo left, I kind of had Longo getting fired because I knew he wasn't coming back no matter what, really. So I was a little quick on the draw, if you will, from a buyout standpoint. Phil Longo was still employed by Ole Miss. He left on his own. So Ole Miss owes him $0 no matter what. In fact, Longo or North Carolina owes Ole Miss money from the buyout that direction. Contractually, I believe it was $150,000 or $125,000. I would assume that that's probably been negotiated to a smaller number, but nonetheless, Ole Miss completely done from a contract of Longo. It is.
God, if you're Ole Miss, you don't risk holding that up, right? I mean, you just go, hey, let's just exchange a Christmas card and be done, right? I mean,
you don't push that.
I don't risk that at all.
So Bubba Cunningham goes, well, look, I got to pay $125. Never mind.
Right, I'd be so scared of that I would be like, no, you know what?
Well, but I think you have to. I think it's that weird move though, where if you completely go, hey, look, please God, take him. It also looks kind of weird. Like, well, what?
What if you say, why don't you give me a membership in the Jelly of the Month Club? That way you're getting.
But isn't there
something.
a middle ground? Doesn't it look bad when you go completely the other way and then somebody goes, whoa, hold up. Like, what?
I just think sometimes you're not from a position of strength. It's kind of like when my realtor called me that day and I was in Miami and we were trying to sell the house in Spanish Fort and she goes, I think we can get $5,000 more. And I said, no risk.
Done.
He's made an offer. He has. I think you should ask for $5. No. Do it. Take it. But you could take it. So I think this is that deal where Bubba calls and you're like, boy, we sure hate to lose him, but you know what? It is the holiday season. Why don't you send us some of that Carolina barbecue sauce? Just send us some sauce when you get around to it.
You don't even want to risk the thing. Go, hey, how about a home and bat? No, just go, just go. It's.
I mean, maybe I even say, hey, how about a home and baseball?
Let him throw off the first pitch when we're in Chapel Hill here in a couple years.
Do you have a rifle team?
Your soccer program's really good, right?
Yeah. Let's do a home and soccer when you get around to it.
It's kind of like Memphis and Ole Miss, where I never thought it made a lot of sense for Ole Miss because it was, hey, we're going to play football now, and then they're going to play basketball when, quote, the schedule allows, which allowed Memphis to just kick down the road, although I do believe it's back on again next year. I think the Tigers and the Rebels are playing basketball next season. I think both sides have agreed to that to this point. But nonetheless, that's the buyout news there is Longo's at Tar Heel. If any money came, and I think it did, it went from North Carolina back toward Ole Miss, not the other way around. So sorry about the confusion there. So we talked about last week that this thing probably lingers on a while. We thought probably around Christmas. That's still possible. However, Neil, I'll let you kind of take the lead here. It looks like there is a chance that this thing gets done toward the end of the week or at least early into the next week once signing day is over.
Yeah. So I'll do this. There's a chance. I'm not speaking for Chase here. I'll speak for me. Chase might not approve, might not agree with what I'm about to say. There's a chance there are candidates that I don't know about.
Oh, there's always that chance.
So a real chance that there's multiple candidates that I don't know about. I have requested that Ole Miss formally send me a list of their candidates and when they're interviewing. That list has yet to be fulfilled. I don't think it ever will be. In fact, it was met with laughter. So I'm not hopeful that I get that. I've heard about Fish through you and then confirmed it somewhere else. Got multiple sources telling me about Will Hall.
Yeah, Ole Miss and Fish have a mutual acquaintance that I'm not really in the mood of getting into right now. And that's how, at least, that had the potential to be how this started. Now, could Matt Luke have identified him in some other way? Of course, but I do know of one way that did happen over the course of the last week or so.
He's known Will Hall forever. So there's an obvious connection there. Will is, I guess, now in day 2 as the formal offensive coordinator at Tulane. Tulane, like Ole Miss, is looking to sign prospects on Wednesday. And when those NLIs get through coming into the machines, whatever machine that they use these days, in New Orleans, those guys are going to get a break. That coaching staff's been coaching a bowl game and bowl prep and all that stuff, so they're probably ready to go home and hang out with the fam and stuff. So Will's family's been in Memphis because he coached at Memphis last season. So I know he wants to get back to Memphis and see the family. I have heard rumblings through people that he could be talking to Ole Miss as early as like Thursday or Friday. And I've heard 2 to 3 interviews for sure. Now, Fish is not hostage to National Signing Day because he's coaching in the National Football League on a team that is quickly running into some trouble. But it's conceivable, obviously. It's a dead period now in recruiting. It's conceivable that Matt and Ross Bjork could get on a plane and meet halfway or wherever. I mean, they've got meeting rooms in Houston and Dallas and Atlanta and Salt Lake City. And I mean, Albuquerque, Phoenix. You want to meet, you can meet. You can get it done. I have no idea what is being planned there. And there is no code there in case you're trying to figure out what am I trying to say. I'm not trying to say anything. And then I continue to hear Kurt Roper's name over the weekend. I don't think Kurt Roper can be hired. I think you saw the reaction on our message board. I can't speak for other message boards.
It was not favorable.
You got to sell tickets. You are in business, and you have to sell tickets. And I don't think he would sell tickets. In fact, I think he would cause a lack of tickets being sold. Is that fair to him? I don't know.
Coordinators typically don't sell tickets, but you certainly don't need coordinators that are going to hurt ticket sales.
Yes. So that's the way it is.
Yeah. Continue that conversation in 1 minute. We'll tell you about the Blow Dry Bar Oxford that's on Jackson Avenue. You can give them a call at 662-638-3310. They're voted best new business in Oxford for 2018. They're Tuesday to Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday 10 to 3. Get a gift card or make an appointment for the special woman in your life. You mentioned rebelgrove.com or the podcast. You get the blowout for only $35. Got that deal going right now, so take advantage. I know some of you already have. They're on Jackson Avenue. Again, you can stocking stuffers, presents, gifts, or just the nice thought for a weekend coming up when you're in town. That's the Blow Dry Oxford, and then it is the Blow Dry Bar Oxford.com for the website.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'm quasi distracted, but I'm getting through it. The podcast also brought to you by Patterson and Earhart, attorneys at law. Guests join our family of podcasts on the Patterson and Earhart hotline. Patterson and Earhart specialize in personal injury law and real estate law, but theirs is a general practice that can handle any of your legal needs. When you contact Patterson and Earhart, you speak to one of the partners in the firm, and that's who will handle your case, not some paralegal at a faceless corporate firm. If Patterson and Earhart can't help you, they'll refer you to someone who can. John Calvin Patterson and Wes Earhart are Ole Miss guys. They're local guys, and when you call them, you're going to get one of them on the phone within the same day, guaranteed. So whether you've been injured in a car wreck or have other legal issues, give them a call, 662-526-1992, or check out their website, pelaws.com. Your initial consultation is free. The podcast also brought to you by Home 2 Suites, South Lamar Court in Oxford. It's open and ready to accommodate your personal or business needs just in time for the holidays. It's located at 101 South Lamar Court in Oxford at the intersection of Belt Boulevard and South Lamar Avenue. It's a Hilton property. It's locally owned and operated by Ole Miss alumni, and it's just 1 mile from campus, 1.5 miles from the square. Guests will enjoy custom decorated interiors with artwork by local artists throughout the hotel, displaying the beauty and charm of Oxford and Ole Miss. Extended stay rates are available, and Hilton points can be earned for stays and redeemed for bookings. In addition, the 625-square-foot meeting room is available for rentals and comes with all you need for the perfect boardroom meeting, classroom-style presentation, or catered meal. For more information, call 662-238-3400. You can follow them on Twitter at Home2Suites Oxford, on Instagram at Home2Suites Oxford MS, and Yeah, that's it. So check them out. Home to Sweets Oxford. They're your home, too. And just in time for the holidays, Dead Soxy will deliver your socks in style. Order any 5 pair and get their holiday packaging free. Mix and match your favorites for a total of 5 to receive this special gift wrapping. They've just upped their game for a limited time offer. All socks, including sale items, are 35% off with the Rebel Grove promo code. This sale officially ends midnight Central on Wednesday, December the 19th. So whether you're giving your family, your friends, or yourself a gift, give something they'll look forward to wearing over and over again. Everyone needs to experience the difference a quality sock makes. So go to deadsoxy.com, enter the code Rebel Grove at checkout to receive 35% off, and all orders over 5 pairs will receive this special holiday packaging free.
Lesson I had to learn myself: don't waste your time at the big chains. Go somewhere where you're appreciated. G&M Pharmacy, locally owned and operated. They care about their customers. Been Oxford's trusted hometown pharmacy for 40 years and offer many great services such as MedSync, immunizations, free delivery to your home or workplace. And they're located right off South Lamar Boulevard there in Oxford. Transferring your medications is simple. It takes just a couple minutes. I've done it myself. Give them a call, 662-236-2222, and they will take care of the rest. Jed Fish, with the Rams right now, as you said, an offensive assistant. He's been an offensive coordinator in multiple locations over the last 10 years or so. Got a very varied resume for 42 years old. Hasn't stayed in one place very often throughout his career. You know, I think a little bit, everybody goes, well, you know, it's an NFL offense. No, he's not running the plays in L.A. That's Sean McVay. If anything, he's learned probably some new concepts for his playbook. I think, you know, look, I don't know. I mean, I don't think Jed Fish is the favorite, but we have a podcast so we talk for over an hour a day. It's a college offense. It's still going to be his offense. He's not adopting the L.A. Rams offense should he get a coordinator job in college football. So I think people can relax a little there. I don't know how good of a recruiter he is, but again, this is one of his only NFL jobs since the Jaguars offensive coordinator. I mean, it just chill a little bit. It's going to be all right. It's not. I think people are kind of on edge right now. We might have caused that with the Kurt Roper stuff on Saturday, but nonetheless, Fish has been an offensive coordinator in college multiple times. He has an offense suited for college players. Whether it's good or not, I don't know. I haven't looked into it. But just relax. It's okay. He's not trying to run Sean McVay's system in college football next year because that wouldn't work. So
people are really keyed up.
Well, keyed up. It's the holidays. People got family in town and stuff, and in-laws, and it's just it's a little nutty. You got a lot of parties and stuff you don't want to go to. You're having to worry about gifts for so and so. Then so and so else goes, hey, we're exchanging gifts, right? And you're like, no, it's just kind of a tense time. It's a tense time.
I got to give me credit for this.
Okay.
Somehow over the years, we've reduced our gifting list to the point that it's virtually non-existent, and it's nice. I don't give my brothers presents. They don't give me presents. I'm not offended. We don't give nephews and nieces presents. They don't give ours presents. Everything just kind of rocks on. Well, we got something in the mail the other day, and I thought, God dang it, do we got to turn around and give a gift now?
The one that's bothered my wife a little bit the last couple of weeks has been when she gets Christmas cards from people and go, we didn't send them one. I'm like, the world will go on.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm kind of like, so?
Yeah, don't get me started on these Christmas cards. I mean, so it's going to be all right. Just
the Christmas cards took a little hit out of the Parham budget this year, right? Little chunk.
It was an unknown expense until it was a required expense. Put it that way. It was
at the end of the year when you itemize.
I had a number in mind, and that number was exceeded a little bit, and it was. It was kind of that deal when Kara usually will kind of like, hey, we spend it on dumber stuff and kind of whatever, and this time she goes, I know, and just kind of stopped. Like there was no conversation. There was no dialogue back and forth. And we both recognize where we made the mistake, and it will be corrected in the future. Or sorry, where she made the mistake, and I noticed it. We'll correct it in the future, so it's okay. But you live and you learn. They've gone out, but yeah, look, you're going to.
You like more than doubled the number in your mind, right?
About double. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's pre-stamp.
Ooh.
It's pre-stamp. Because stamps will pop you now.
What are stamps now? 50 cents each?
I don't know. I mean, I go buy books, but I don't have any idea what they cost. Whatever. They're necessary.
I can't remember the last time
I don't mail a ton of things.
See,
so
I mail stuff, but our system is I'll write the checks and I'll put it in the envelope and stuff, and she always has the stamps in her purse or whatnot. And so I'm like, hey, can you mail these things for me?
she'll steal my stamps, so I have to keep my stamps in my desk and have them separate. Because if I ever need one, I better have them myself because she will take my stamps.
What gets stolen from me is my money. I don't remember the last time I had cash. And pins. If I have a pin in here, and light bulbs. They'll come in here and take light bulbs out of my office. It's light
bulbs. I think say it's batteries, but no, it's light bulbs, isn't it?
And batteries too. They'll come take the batteries. Where my batteries go? Well, I had this thing. Yeah, but I need that for work, and you need to tell me. Or I'll come in and turn on the lamp thing, and there's no light bulb in it. Well, I needed it upstairs. Yeah, well, I needed a head of hair.
They come and take your light bulbs out of your lamps.
It's a total lack of respect, really, when you think about it.
That is a strange thing.
Yeah, it's like, well, Dad's got light bulbs. Let's just go get his light bulbs. Why don't you take them out of somebody else's room? Why not fight each other? You fight each other over everything else. Why not?
You should
fight
really
over
take
light
their batteries out of things.
Can you imagine the backlash? I mean, you would think the world would have come to an end if that happened.
Hide their chargers.
That's the one I love is, hey, I'm going to be home in 30 minutes. Is dinner ready? I always want to go, it's going to be ready when it's ready. Well, I need it in 30 minutes because I have, I don't know if you've studied like the planets or anything, but you might notice that the planets revolve around the sun and not around you. Just saying.
Okay. And then you have it ready in 30 minutes, right?
And then I usually have it ready in 30 minutes.
Just saying.
I try.
But point being,
and in 20 years, when they're like, "Yeah, Dad really screwed us up," I'm gonna be like, "Man, I don't know where it went wrong because I tried."
Yeah. Point being, everybody's just a little tense right now, just a little on edge. It's okay. It's all good. Holidays are great and kind of bad all at the same time. It's a little of everything. It's just they've grown on me more over the years. I used to be fairly humbuggish. I'm better.
Yeah.
I'm still not, hey, let's go sing carols outside, but I'm better.
I like the holidays. I'm good with them.
I like the holidays fine.
I'm good with the holidays.
You're ready for them to be over when they're over.
Well, just because I need the spending to stop.
It's expensive.
But that's about it. I like them.
But yeah, we could do a better job on the exchanging of gifts that is just exchanging of gifts to exchange gifts. Everybody buys something that they actually don't want. So it's like, well,
yeah.
What are we doing?
I think if you're going to do that, you have like a secret Santa or dirty Santa or whatever Santa and have it out.
Which one, a secret or a dirty?
Well, if it's little kids, it's got to be secret. If it's older people, you can go a little crazy.
Okay. It's fair enough.
The party that followed our party the other day, did you ever get a feel for whether it was?
No, I don't know. I did not hang around long enough, I think, for the festivities. They appeared to be fully ready to go, however. So
yeah. I was trying to find out about it. I was trying to do some investigation.
Didn't get much.
Well, I mean, I was in the process of getting some.
Yeah, we had our podcast Christmas party, if you will, on Saturday, and a group came in behind us, and I offered up we offered up all of our food to them that was left over, but it looked like they were just starting to kind of get reared up and ready to go as we were leaving.
I was talking to John Edwards and his wife about the party. We were like guessing, do you think this is like a kind of a tame party, or do you think this is like a party that's basically going to be a collection of sex toys?
Yeah.
And I said, I'll go find out. And I was in the process of finding out. Laura was not as pleased with my attempts to find out.
It's where we really needed Jay Tate.
I needed Jay.
He would have gotten to the bottom of this in about 8 seconds.
And Courtney wouldn't have minded Jay getting to the bottom of it. Laura was not as happy.
Jay would have hung around and played with them, I think.
Yeah. Laura was not as happy with me trying to get to the bottom of it because I don't think she realized that's what I was trying to do. I don't think she realized that I was just investigating because I was curious.
But they appeared to be pretty limbered up and ready to go.
Yeah, I don't think that was the first drink they'd had all night. I don't. Because
they came in about 8:50.
Yeah, and I think
I bet they'd been to dinner and had a couple glasses.
Yeah, I think they'd been going since about 4:50.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it'd been a while.
Okay. That's fair.
Probably a good night for Uber. So
Yeah.
I get in an Uber. Tell me your thoughts on this. I was responsible. I Ubered home.
Real quick, thanks to Cathead, Oxford Wine and Spirits, Funky's, Obies, and then obviously all of our partners that showed up and those who didn't. It's been a good year. We'll talk more about that as Christmas and the year gets here. But great time. Appreciate all of you, and thanks to those people specifically. Well,
We were responsible and Ubered home.
okay.
My Uber, I got in the passenger seat, and there was a food bowl and a water bowl, and the dog roaming in the car.
Whoa. There was a dog in the Uber?
A dog in the Uber. And our entire conversation on the way back.
Whoa, stop. What kind of dog?
He told me it was a little dog.
Why? Did you get an explanation?
It was kind of sad.
What?
I think that it was. I think it was just his companion.
But he brought it with him?
Yeah, he didn't live here.
I'm really confused.
Like a lot of people, they'll drive here for the weekend to Uber.
Oh, really? That's fine.
Because
Okay.
Oxford's more happening than some of those surrounding towns.
Sure. So he just brought the dog.
And so the dog.
Did you check what his Uber rating is? Because it's got to be fairly low if he's got the dog with him all the time.
I didn't. It was one of those deals where I just want to be able to get home. Carson was by himself. We needed to get back.
That can't be. That has to be frowned upon.
I would think. But I would never say anything, really, because I don't want to get the guy in trouble because it was kind of depressing. We'd had a really nice evening, and that brought me down a little. I had to kind of pick myself back up.
So was the dog sitting with you?
He sat in his lap while he drove.
Which that would make me nervous in and of itself.
He drove with his right hand, petting the dog with his left. Yep. Bizarre.
I'm stunned.
I know.
And he had food and water for the dog in the cup holders. Or on the console or whatever right there.
That is correct.
No, it's bad pod, but I'm just trying to think about this for a second.
Probably not all that safe.
5-6 pound dog?
That's probably about right.
Some kind of Yorkie or something?
Yeah.
Or a teacup Yorkie. A Yorkie would be bigger.
I would guess the dog was no larger than 10 pounds.
Okay.
And probably smaller than 10 pounds.
But it didn't jump in your lap or anything.
No, it was very quiet. Didn't even make a sound.
So it was just chilling.
Yeah. Once we got in the car, it got into his lap. Otherwise, I would have thought it was like a stuffed animal.
You've had some interesting Ubers because we're in Nashville and we get in and the driver knows everything about everybody in the car and different things about whatever town in Georgia that was we were in, Albany or Duluth or something.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I get the crazy Uber.
You get the weird Ubers?
There's something about me. I get crazy Uber.
What kind of car was it?
I hate to out the guy.
How are you outing him? There's only one of these in Mississippi?
It was like a Lincoln Town car.
Okay.
It was a big car, old car.
All right.
He was a nice guy.
How was that outing him? You think
know.
there's no other Lincoln Town cars in the state?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, because when you say that, I'm thinking, okay, was he driving a 78 Yugo? Like, what are we doing here?
It was an old...
A smart car? I mean, what?
It was an old Lincoln Town car. It just was
a big van that says free candy on the side? Like, what was he driving? Like, what?
Hey, kids!
It's as good as the taxi service when we were going to our honeymoon. And I've told the story on the podcast to the point that I think I got the guy in trouble with, and should have. He was the one that had his girlfriend with him that was sitting in the front seat with her shoes off and her feet on the dashboard. I was running late, and he had to stop and get gas, and then I asked if he could hang around in the parking lot at the gas station for a little while to smoke a couple cigarettes before we got back in. Never helped with bags. Like, it was a terrible experience, but he did not have a dog with him. Looking back, there was no canine companion, if you will, in the car with him. But anyway, I don't even know what we were talking about. We got off on Christmas. I think Jed Fish, but
well, we were just saying that don't bog down on Fish and the Rams too much. In fact, if it were me and I were studying Fish, I would go back to his college appearances.
Yeah, you want to know about Michigan, Miami,
UCLA.
Yeah, those places, not Not the Jaguars and not LA for sure, because I mean, again, I think he handles clock management for LA, and they're actually one of the worst NFL teams when it comes to clock management. They don't care about timeouts. So
they got some issues right now.
They're struggling. They look weird.
Told you
it's such a marathon of a season. You know what I mean?
It is. And I told you the other day when the Bears shut them down the way they did, that the only thing, if I were a Rams guy, that would have concerned me about that was did the Bears provide a blueprint for how to take away their run game? And the early answer, and this is really early. I mean, this is like calling an election.
Yeah, we're not writing off the LA Rams.
This is like calling an election with 2% of the vote in. But the early results are, that film hurt the Rams.
Gurley was a little banged up last night. Goff was terrible again. Made some really dumb throws last night.
He getting tense
He
now.
would make me nervous in the playoffs.
Well, he was awful in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
And now we're getting into these meaningful games, and he's getting a little tight.
Well, for the first time all season, they've had to look in the mirror a little bit. I mean, it hasn't just been, hey, we're rolling and not ever losing games and everything's fine.
Hey.
And all of a sudden you got New Orleans, who tonight can put a stranglehold on the one seed.
Well, the Bears are right there.
Yeah.
They lose one more, and the Bears win out. The Bears get a home game in Chicago and a bye.
Against the Rams. Assuming the Rams beat the Cowboys or whoever.
And we saw what Goff looked like on a cold day in January.
Yeah. You don't want to go back to Soldier Field at any point. So
there's a chance that would be a night game. A Saturday night, a Sunday night. Have fun.
Yeah.
Gets cold, and Soldier Field's gotten loud. It was loud yesterday.
If you're the Saints, do you want the Rams or the Bears as your 2 seed?
The Rams.
You want the Rams as your 2?
Yes.
Okay. Play your style of football?
Yes, because the Bears, look, the Saints and the Bears, if they play in New Orleans 10 times, the Saints win 9. The scary thing for the Saints in that matchup is the Bears' defense is so good and their pass rush is so disruptive that they could have one of those games where Mac knocks up a couple of balls free. And Trubisky, while nowhere near the quarterback of a Drew Brees or whatever, he is dangerous with his feet, and he does make some plays, and they do have a strong run game.
They can dirty it up.
They can turn a game, they can turn a game into a...
They're never going to win a game where the Saints score 35 to 40 points.
No.
But yeah.
But if you told me there was a game where, and again, this is 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's 21-17 Saints with 7 minutes left, and the Bears have the ball. Yeah. Look, Mac's dangerous.
He is.
Khalil Mack is a game changer. You have to account for him on every play. And Bushrod would have his hands full with Mack.
Well, I mean, by then Armstead surely the guy's back, but yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
Bushrod.
Mack
they have to get Armstead healthy.
Mack is a troublemaker out there, and their secondary's good. Fuller's had a really good year.
He has.
They're good. The Bears are a legitimately good team,
mm-hmm.
and they're dangerous in the punt return. They're good in special teams.
Yes, I think you're right. I think if you're the Saints, you want to play the East champion or one of the wild cards. And then you want the Bears and the Rams to play in L.A.
Yeah, I want the Rams if I'm the Saints because I know what I'm going to get with the Rams. I'm going to get a shooting match.
Yeah.
And New Orleans plays so many shooting matches that's comfortable.
I'll take my chances in the Dome against that kind of team.
Yeah, they're comfortable with that. The Bears, just that defense is good. It's legit.
Yeah.
And you know what else? I think the Bears, if they got to New Orleans in an NFC Championship game, they're house money. That season's a success.
Yeah.
He's
an interesting mindset at that point because you kind of relax, which can go good or bad. You know what I mean? So I've seen that go both ways with teams where they go, well, we're just kind of happy to be here, or, dude, we're here. Play with hair on fire. Who gives a crap if we lose by 20?
Well, Nagy's personality is they'd play hair on fire.
Yeah.
Go for it on 4th and 1, do crazy stuff, and that gets, when you're playing, that can get dangerous.
Yeah. So, podcast brought to you in part by Community Mortgage, Oxford, Memphis, Settle County, and Chattanooga. Underwriting and processing is done in Memphis. You're getting local underwriting that understands your market, a leader in condo financing, and the float-down option. You can reach Jason at 662-234-2704 or JLowe, that's JLOWE, at communitymtg.com.
My 10 thoughts are up on the message board, and the site is called rebelgrove.com. It's part of the rivals.com network. To my knowledge, the promo is still going. Sign up today, and it's promo code 99cyber, 99CYBER at checkout, and you'll get $99 off fan shop gear. I don't know that you'd get the coupon in time, but you know how this works. There's going to be clearance sales and stuff after the holidays because that's how everyone does it. $99 in team gear. You can get Ole Miss gear. You can get Saints gear, Rams gear, Bears gear. You pick. It's all yours there at Rebel Grove. My 10 weekend thoughts are up. Like I said, they're sponsored by Harry Alexander. Harry is an Oxford-based RE/MAX legacy realty agent. He's been in Oxford more than 4 decades. No one knows the residential and condo market in Oxford better than Harry. Go to his site. He'll prove it to you. HarryAlexander.com. Click on the Properties and Neighborhoods tab. Filter through by what you're looking for. And then send him an email. It's ha@harryalexander.com. My post-game columns and this podcast also sponsored by Pinnacle Trust. Pinnacle Trust based in Madison, Mississippi, but it represents clients in 24 states and has advisors in 3 states. Founded in 1997, Pinnacle Trust provides detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much more. At Pinnacle Trust, investing is treated like a commodity and decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. So regardless of your level of wealth, Pinnacle Trust will sit down with you, listen to your goals, study your expenses, and put forth a comprehensive, detailed financial and retirement plan. Cookie-cutter financial planners put you in a box. At Pinnacle Trust, a box is built just for you. To learn more, go to pintrust.com. That's PINN trust.com. Mention you heard about Pinnacle Trust on the podcast. You get 10% off your first year's fee. Podcast also brought to you by the Westin Jackson. Restore serenity to your soul by visiting Soul Spa. It's the ultimate luxury spa experience in downtown Jackson. Indulge in personalized massages, signature facials, soothing body treatments, and much more on their extensive spa list. Escape from the everyday and rejuvenate yourself in their luxury spa today.
Podcast also brought to you by Visit Oxford. Visit oxfordms.com/events to see everything going on and get ready to experience all things Oxford in a week during the 3rd annual Pop-Up Oxford, January 19th through 27th. It's a week-long celebration of Oxford's rich cultural scene of art, food, lectures, musical performances, Ole Miss basketball, and more. Also, the 9th Annual Fiber Arts Festival during the Pop-Up Oxford. That's January 24th, 27th. Just make some early plans to be in town for all this. Got everything from songwriters competitions to hotel hop, art crawls, Stacker Mountain radio hours. Plenty of events going on with this. You can check out the full calendar at popupoxfordms.com. Speaking of the NFL, usually do this on Mondays. Do it again here. After courtesy of losing to the Chargers on Thursday night, the Chiefs did not clinch the AFC West. However, they remain in first place overall in the AFC at 11-3, and a new tenant at the 2 seed. The Houston Texans winning again. The Patriots losing to the Steelers. The Texans are 10-4 and would get that bye if things ended right now. The Patriots still have the 3 seed. They would host the Baltimore Ravens in the first round as of right now. And then the other game would be the Steelers hosting the L.A. Chargers as a wild card at 11-3.
I wrote this yesterday in 10 Thoughts. I watched a good bit of New England and Pittsburgh yesterday, and neither team looks impressive right now. They look very vulnerable. And in the AFC, there are some really good wild card teams right now. Obviously, the Chargers are very, very good. The Chiefs are very, very good. And one of those 2 teams is going to be in a wild card game.
I'm very intrigued because of how Derrick Henry's been the last 2 weeks in a potential Week 17 Colts-Titans game.
Hell of a game.
Got a really good chance for that to be a cool game.
He's been really good, and Andrew Luck's been really solid. He's not making mistakes. And
Colts at 8-6, and the Titans at 8-6, tied with the Ravens for that 6th spot right now.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Dolphins out now, probably at 7-7 after losing yesterday, and then the Browns are technically eligible, but would need a ton of help at 6-7 and 1. And then in the NFC, the Saints play the Panthers tonight on Monday Night Football. The Saints currently at 11-2. The Rams at 11-3 following their loss. We mentioned the Bears. They're at 10-4 as of right now. They would host the Minnesota Vikings in round 1 currently. And then the Cowboys would host the Seahawks in round 1 in the other game. The Philadelphia Eagles are a half game back of the Vikings at 7-7. The Redskins are 7-7, and then the Panthers technically, mathematically eligible at 6-7. So that's where the NFC sits right now. Saints, Rams, and then Bears, Vikings in one round, and Cowboys, Seahawks in the other game.
I just don't like the Cowboys team. I know they beat New Orleans that night in Dallas, and they looked good doing it. They looked awful yesterday.
Sad thing for the Cowboys is they did win the game. Credit to them. Saints played about as bad as humanly possible, and it was a 3-point game where the Cowboys played about as low as they could. You went, that's probably not happening again. And it's not going to be in Dallas.
And I don't mean this to get into the Mississippi State thing. I know it's going to light up a message board
somewhere. It's so stupid. There's an ownership of this dude that it's cultish at this point. You cannot criticize a guy that no longer plays for your team.
He had a hell of a college career. He had a hell of a rookie season. He's not a franchise quarterback. The end. They got a good defense, got a pretty good offensive line. The Amari Cooper deal was good for them. He gave him a weapon. Elliott's a stud, just a freaking stud of a running back. But he's just not good. He misses wide open throws that NFL quarterbacks can't miss. And he was one hell of a quarterback at Mississippi State. I'm not taking anything away from him as a college player. He's a great college player. You should retire his jersey at Mississippi State. He meant so much to your program. It doesn't make him a great NFL player. It's like watching Eli now. If you're an Ole Miss fan going, no, you can't criticize Eli. Come on, look. He's on the backstretch with a limp. Had a hell of a career. 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
Father Time.
Undefeated. And Father Time is beginning to take its hold on Eli Manning.
And Tom Brady.
Yes.
Popping Brady right now.
Really hitting him hard.
They look very vulnerable. To be a 3 seed still in the AFC, they look incredibly vulnerable
You're
right now.
being kind.
Yeah. It looks over.
I don't like their chances.
The only reason some people go it's not over is because they wear a Patriot on their helmet.
And I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, they've
had 15, 18 years of it. I mean,
hey, they've earned that designation.
Yeah.
They earned that. I mean, you're a diehard Saints fan.
You're waiting on them to die. You're like, it's.
Yeah, I mean, they're that character in the movie that the hand comes back up again.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't look right. I look at the AFC and I see multiple teams that could beat them.
There's nobody in the. I mean, cart before horse to an extent that's hard to believe. Frankly, from a Saints standpoint, if they got to the Super Bowl, the Texans might scare me more than anyone because they kind of do that Bears thing where they sort of make it weird. Watson could get loose with his feet. It could get stupid.
Very similar teams.
Because, frankly, I would spend 2 weeks very confident against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
I would. I mean, I think they'd play a Saints-type game. And
the Chargers would scare me more than the Chiefs.
I agree with that. Other than I want to see Rivers win some meaningful games. He's an underrated quarterback. He's better to get credit for. But
that quarterback draft, when you go back and look at it, is unbelievable. That all 3 of those guys panned out in the way that they did. Eli, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger have all had fantastic careers.
Was there anyone else in that draft quarterback-wise, or was that just the main 3?
I can't remember.
Might look in a minute, but
they've all 3 had just phenomenal.
Saints are 6-point favorites against the Panthers in Carolina tonight. If anybody's curious,
they're going to win.
I mean, we said that last time with the old Dallas.
Yeah, the Saints have been really good all year.
They have. They've had 3 dud games, and they lost 2 of them.
Who do the Bears have the rest of the way?
They close with Minnesota. I don't know if they play next week. Minnesota's their last game of the season. But that's all I got. You don't know?
No, I don't.
Why?
Because it's hard to keep up with everything in my life right now, and I'm having to pretend to be a Tottenham Hotspur fan just to frustrate my son.
But you said it's actually frustrating him.
It is. Tottenham played somebody. I don't even know who the hell they were playing on Saturday, and it was 0-0 at the end of regulation, so they had the 4 or 5 minutes of stoppage time or whatever, and Tottenham scored a goal to win the game. And I pretend celebrated.
He's mad.
He got mad because his team, Chelsea, is trying to catch Tottenham. And he goes, they're so lucky. You're so lucky. And I'm like, I couldn't even tell you who scored or how he scored. I just saw the ball go in the net, and I was like, yes. Yes. And I didn't care. Come on. Carson's a little frustrated right now.
Is this a good move? Isn't Chelsea like what really dominant EPL team that's always really good?
Yeah.
Is that a good move or a bad move to, as a young kid, adopt the team that's the freaking Yankees? Well,
he's a Cubs fan, so it's fair. It's fair to go pick a winner somewhere else.
He's fans of big market teams.
That's all right.
Okay, I'm just saying. I mean, it's kind of the soccer equivalent of all the kids my age that go, I'm Cowboys fans. Like, shut up. You're Cowboys fans. They started losing. Now you pull for the Patriots.
I don't mind him saying, you know what, I want to
bandwagging a little bit.
I'm going to work for winners. I'm good with that.
Are you?
Yeah. The little engine that could. That's a hard way to go.
Okay. To answer to your question, the Chicago Bears are on the road at San Francisco 49ers on Sunday.
W.
And then they finish up in Minnesota against the Vikings.
That'd be tough.
In the last week. Could be a very critical game for the Bears.
Who the Rams have?
Arizona and San Francisco.
Huh. They ought to get well.
Not a lot of room for look, I mean,
they lose one of those, and boy, you got problems.
I mean, the Rams' easy schedule is what makes the Saints still have to kind of keep playing a little bit because the Saints have 2 rivalry games. I know in the NFL that doesn't mean crap usually, but they've got the Panthers twice, and then it's around a really weird game next week against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
It's a really strange game next week.
That game's
Steelers.
Up there, right?
No, it's in New Orleans.
Oh, I like it. They're good.
They play the Panthers on the road tonight, and they finish at home against Pittsburgh, at home against Carolina.
Oh, they're good. Win the night, and you're good. Pittsburgh looked like a shell of itself. I'm telling you, I didn't like either one of those two teams last night. I watched that game, and I thought, boy, somebody's getting popped by Colts or Titans or somebody.
You like one of those underdogs in
do.
those games.
Well, let me tell you, the Tennessee Titans will go get you. They're physical.
This is amazing because of the market I live in. I have not watched them play really all season.
How do you avoid it?
They're on a lot, aren't they?
I watched some of their game yesterday against New York, and look, the Giants suck.
They had been playing fairly well the last
They had
4
been
weeks.
playing, and Eli had been playing really well. The Titans defend you. Like a lot.
That's fair. Got a couple of quick hit topics to finish up the show in a second. First, I will tell you there's still a couple days left. You got maybe some holiday parties or something coming up, and you need some quick fixes for your neighborhood. You can let Master Cuts take care of that. If you want to throw some lighting or some garland up, some inflatable characters, or just know about it as the seasons move forward, or give them a call for a free quote because you know pretty soon you're going to need somebody to take care of your lawn or landscape, and they do all that for you. They've been doing it for me for a long time. And do a nice job. 662-607-7773 for a free quote.
Podcast also brought to you by Grenada Nissan. If you're in the market for a Nissan vehicle, that's the place to go. Grenada Nissan, located just off Interstate 55 in Grenada, Mississippi. They have a complete selection of new and previously owned Nissan vehicles. It's GrenadaNissanUSA.com. Podcast also brought to you in part by John Edwards of Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. I've told you how this works. Whether you're looking to go on an anniversary trip somewhere, Paris, Napa, whatever it may be, whether you and the guys are getting away for a golf trip, whether it's on a course here in the States or whether it's you're going to Scotland or Ireland, whether you're looking for to book that beach house, a cruise, whatever it may be, get in touch with John. He's part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows him to supply his clients with added values, unique benefits, that quite frankly you're not going to find on the internet because you're not part of Virtuoso. So get in touch with John, give him some parameters, give him a budget, let him know what you're looking to do. He'll give you options. You don't have to spend days researching it. He'll do that for you. And you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net. Podcast also brought to you by Oxford University Bank, OUB, locally owned and operated right here in Oxford. When you deposit money at OUB, that money and the vast majority of the bank's profits go right back into the Oxford community. OUB gives you the comfort of home, all the benefits the big mega banks provide, all the technology and products you can want, all at the personal touch. They also have Kasasa. It's the absolute best cash checking account. With Kasasa, OUB will pay customers 2.5% interest on their balances up to $50,000, and with Kasasa, ATM fees nationwide are refunded. OUB also offers online bill pay and mobile check deposit using its online app. To learn more, check out liveoxfordbankoxford.com or call 662-234-6668. OUB is FDIC insured.
So just a little news here more than anything else. Former Ole Miss right-hander Dallas Woolfolk, as you know, left the team in the middle of the season last year. He has been suspended 50 games after a positive test for amphetamines. That coming from Susan Slusser, the very good A's beat writer.
She's so good.
Yeah, she's excellent. So she reports that Woolfolk suspended 50 games for that. He was on the Rookie League Arizona roster, and for a guy they don't have much investment in, you kind of wonder if this ends before it begins for Woolfolk. But had a couple different issues here, and just kind of hope the best for him as you move forward. It was a loose deal, just in town, apparently looking at practice. We didn't talk about this. What's your just quick thought on the Saban DJ Durkin thing?
Not surprised. That's just what they do. Saban has carte blanche at Alabama. I mean, literally, if he asks for anything other than like something illegal, he gets it. No questions asked. So I'm not surprised. If he thinks Durkin gives him any advantage at all, in any way, he'll take him. It's not.
Is it a bad look?
Yeah, they don't care.
Even though they weren't technically doing anything to assist Alabama, if you will? I put air quotes up for everybody.
Yeah, it's a bad look.
Okay.
Saban's driven, make no mistake, he wants to win this title. We never talked about this, but we'll be quick because we're running out of time. But if he wins the championship next month, he breaks Bryant's record. There's literally nothing left after that. You put any stock at all into this little barely rumor that Nick Saban might go to Green Bay? Give it a shot with Aaron Rodgers, the Packers?
Look, I don't know the answer to this. Speculation, obviously. I think that NFL tenure went so poorly. Has an ego to him. He's not going to chance it again. Probably has an itch. I think the fear of failure might be real with Saban in the NFL.
You could be right.
But you're right. At Alabama, there's only one way to go, and at some point they became immune to you winning. I mean, it's already annoying him. They lose 1-2 games in a year, and it's the end of the world. That level of perfection from a fan base is probably something that can grate on you over time. So, also, I saw some explanations for this. I know they do this all over the Southeast. It does kind of raise your eyebrows a little bit. How in the world does Nakobe Dean win a Lineman of the Year award? He is not a lineman.
Oh, this is just a desperate.
By the way, Touchdown Club of Atlanta, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, come on. Just pitiful.
He doesn't play a position on either line. He is a linebacker.
Although I will say this. Pay attention, Ole Miss. This is how you cheat legally.
I mean, that award's not going to sway the decision.
No. But it might puff his ego a little.
You're just putting as many positives in boxes as you can.
Yeah.
That's all you do. You just accumulate check marks.
I mean, it's kind of admirable. Kirby Smart told him who to do.
Think so?
Absolutely.
The Atlanta Touchdown Club is very excited to announce its 2018 National Lineman of the Year. Inside linebacker Nakobe Dean from Horn Lake, Mississippi. He led Horn Lake to an undefeated 6A state championship and is ranked the number 1 linebacker in the country. That coming from the Touchdown Club from Atlanta, who says their mission is to Support high school football in the state of Georgia and the USA, home of Mr. Georgia Football, Bobby Dodd National High School Player of the Year, Player of the Week awards, $700,000 in scholarships awarded to this point from them. So, interesting deal there. It is an interesting of the deal. I will say though that just for full disclosure here, looking at it a little bit, the National Back of the Year award went to Talia Tungavaloa, who obviously is headed to Alabama. So he won the Back of the Year award for the country.
Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah. Good for him.
You say that sarcastically?
I don't know. I just think it's silly.
Just now starting to think this is silly?
Oh, no. I've long thought it was silly, as you well know. It's an opinion that you share.
I understand the soap opera of it.
I get it.
The drama and it's professional wrestling at times.
Yeah, I love that I don't know where I'm going. You know where you're going.
I'm just going to wake up and get a feeling on Wednesday.
Yeah, go get something.
I'm going to wake up and get a feeling.
Gonna get something.
Might put a navy polo on. Might put a red polo on. It's all happen chance.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
It's kind of fitting that the early signing period, kind of fitting the early signing period comes so close to Christmas.
Does it?
Presents, gifts, under the tree, if you will, all wrapped up.
I highly doubt things get wrapped up per se. Do you? You think? Who wraps it?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Some intern somewhere?
Possibly. I'm kidding.
Run it through a department store?
Everything's clean. No one cheats.
Everything.
Yep.
Spirit of amateurism.
Yep. Very important that we maintain that model.
Well, I mean, as Mark Emmert said, what do we want? Prop bets on every college football game and a kid missing a field goal that cost somebody else in his class on Monday morning $5,000? And the answer from everyone is yes. It's exactly what we want. Thanks. Get on with it. That'd be great. Jeez. I'm sure you watch tons of bowl games.
I did not. My Saturday was kind of busy. I did not. I know we have more bowl games coming up starting tomorrow, but I have not.
There's no bowl today.
No bowl today.
Okay. We've got some bowl picks out front. I'm pretty sure I did pretty dang poorly.
You did poorly,
yeah.
But no one did well. I think Barrett and I went 3-3 in the 6 games, and that was the leader. So,
really?
So no one's
way out front or anything.
Yeah, your lead remains safe.
Yeah, just wondered. Okay, yeah, you got Northern Illinois and UAB tomorrow night at 6:00 on ESPN for those interesting. If you are interested, UAB a 2.5-point favorite. So check RoboGrub.com. We've had some OC updates, Neil's 10 weekend thoughts, recruiting. Again, National Signing Day for the early signing period is 2 days away. And we'll talk to you tomorrow.